Welcome to Fairy Tale Fables, where we bring classic stories to life. Today, we journey to a quiet shore to tell the tale of the golden fish. Once upon a time, by a quiet grey sea, lived an old fisherman and his wife. They were very poor. Their hut was tiny, made of weathered wood and clay, and their belongings were few. In front of their humble home sat an old broken wooden trough. But they lived simply by the shore, listening to the gentle rhythm of the waves. Every day, as the sun began to paint the sky with hues of orange and pink, the fisherman would walk to the edge of the water. He would cast his net into the shimmering sea, his weathered hands working with a familiar grace. He didn't ask for much, only for enough fish to keep him and his wife fed for the day. He respected the sea, and the sea, in turn, usually provided just enough. But one morning, as he pulled his heavy net from the water, he felt a strange and unusual weight. He hauled it onto the sand, and his eyes widened in disbelief. Caught within the ropes was not an ordinary fish, but something truly extraordinary, a golden fish that sparkled and shimmered as if it held the sun's light within its scales. It glowed with a magical aura, casting soft, warm rays all around it. As the fisherman stared in awe, the fish began to move its tiny mouth, and to his astonishment, it spoke. Its voice was like the soft whisper of the waves. "Kind fisherman, please let me go," it pleaded, its golden eyes looking up at him. "Return me to the sea, and in gratitude I will grant you any wish you desire." The fisherman, a man with a simple and kind heart, felt pity for the magical creature. Without a second thought, he carefully untangled the fish from his net and released it back into the water, asking for nothing in return. When he returned to his hut empty-handed and told his wife what had happened, she did not share his sentiments. Her face twisted with anger. "You fool!" she shouted, pointing a finger at him. "You had a magical fish, and you asked for nothing. Go back to the sea, and ask it for a new trough. Can't you see this one is broken and useless?" The fisherman sighed, but to appease his wife, he went back to the shore and called for the fish. And just like that, a brand new, sturdy wooden trough appeared in a shimmer of golden light. But a new trough was not enough to satisfy her. "A trough," she scoffed. "Is that all you think we deserve? Go back and ask the fish for a proper house." The fisherman's heart was heavy, but he obeyed. He called to the fish, and as the sea rippled gently, their tiny, dilapidated hut transformed into a lovely, cozy cottage with a strong roof and bright, welcoming windows. Magical particles of gold dust seemed to linger in the air for a moment before fading away. The wife, however, was still not content. She stood in her new cottage, her eyes already looking for more. "A cottage is for common folk," she declared. "I want to live in a grand palace fit for a noble lady." The fisherman's pleas were useless. He returned to the shore once more. This time, the sea was not as calm. Darker waves rolled in as he called for the fish. And in the distance, a magnificent palace with golden rooftops and ornate towers rose from the ground, gleaming under the sun. Her greed grew with every wish granted. Now, living in a palace, she was no longer satisfied being a simple fisherman's wife. She demanded to be a noblewoman, adorned in fine silks and jewels. Then she demanded to be the queen, ruling over the entire land. Each time the fisherman went to the sea, his heart grew heavier. The sky grew darker, the waves churned with more force, and the wind began to howl. The sea itself seemed to be growing angry with her insatiable demands. Finally, drunk with power, the wife sat on her golden throne and made her most outrageous demand. "I am tired of being queen of the land," she screamed, her voice echoing through the grand hall. "Go back to the fish and tell it I want to become the ruler of the sea, so that the golden fish itself must obey my every command." The fisherman was horrified, but her rage was like a storm, and he felt powerless to stop it. He stumbled back to the shore, where a terrible tempest was now raging. The sky was black with thunderclouds, and lightning split the darkness. The sea roared, and monstrous waves crashed against the land. He called for the fish one last time, his voice trembling with fear. The golden fish appeared for a moment amidst the violent waves. Its glow dim, it looked at the fisherman with sad eyes. Then, without a word, it flicked its tail and vanished into the depths. The storm ceased instantly. Everything went dark and utterly silent. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, the palace, the riches, and the power were all gone. The fisherman and his wife found themselves standing right back where they started, outside their old tiny hut, and there in front of them was their old broken trough. They had everything, and now they had nothing. The tale of the golden fish teaches us a timeless and powerful lesson. Be grateful for what you have and find happiness in the simple things. Greed is a hunger that can never be satisfied, and if you let it consume you, it can take away everything you hold dear. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more fairy tale fables.